What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital Analysis, and welcome to Wednesday's analysis video. So in this video, we're going to be analyzing an interesting smaller cap psychedelic company called Numinous Wellness. Now, we've covered this stock for quite a while. We've seen it go all the way to highs at $2.45. Currently trades for 65 cents. As we know, the psychedelic sector has cooled off, pulled back, and I want to take a look at this company now because I am personally interested in this company. I'm looking for a little bit more exposure to the psychedelic sector, as I believe we could be in for a rally. Of course, this is just my speculation. This is just my prediction. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and this video is also not sponsored either. We have had the pleasure of working with Numinous Wellness in the past on a couple sponsored videos, but this, just an analysis video, completely unsponsored, guys. So let's get into it. I'm excited to talk about it. We're going to take a look at the financials. We're going to take a look at what the company's up to. They have somewhat shifted their business model, changed up their investor presentation, so I want to take a look at that as well. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Of course, last but not least, if you do support me in the channel and all the videos, kindly smash that like button. It means the world to me, especially with such a new channel here. We're at about 150, subscribers, so I appreciate that, guys. Let's get this to 1,000 subscribers. Of course, don't forget to drop me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the company. I know some of you guys are interested. Some of you guys have been picking up this stock. I'm yet to buy it. I know that my business partner has picked up some of this. So we will be talking about that. And yeah, also don't forget to subscribe. That's really important. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Every Wednesday I drop a video. So let's get straight into it. The first thing I want to kind of take a look at is the stock itself and how it's traded. So I've got the 6-month chart here. We'll zoom in on the charts a little bit later, but it's got $130 million market cap as of Wednesday's close, down 7.14% on about just over twice the average daily volume, 746,000 shares traded, average daily volume of 342,000 shares traded with a 52-week range of 42.5 cents. All the way up to $2.45. Like I said, at the peak of that psychedelic boom, we saw a lot of stocks flying. MindMed was at like $6-7. This was at like almost $2.50. So things have cooled off dramatically. So now let's take a look at the chart. I want to see how it's performed. So initially, when the company IPO'd, lots of excitement. Then we dropped all the way down to lows of, that was back in, late 2020. Lows of, I remember when this thing was in the 20-cent level, and then it skyrocketed all the way to highs of, almost $2.50, bounced around in there, and then it's been cooling off. So where does it settle? When do we start to push forward in terms of share price? It has been in a steady downtrend, like a lot of the psychedelic stocks have been over the last little while. So I expect it to track the majors, like Compass, like Atai, like MindMed. And that's pretty much what it's done. Now, we got a fake breakout, what it seemed to be. We thought everything, we're off to the races. And then Compass released some trial results, and that really brought the sector down again. So although we're not analyzing Compass today, I do plan to analyze Compass as well on this channel eventually. But as we can see here, Compass had a really nice run. All the psychedelic stocks were running. And then we got slammed on some trial results, which I personally don't think were that bad. But MindMed should have some updates late Q4, early Q1. I am hoping to get an interview going with them. I've already talked to their IR department, and it looks like it's a go. This will be unsponsored, simply just to update the community and everyone interested in the sector. Zooming in on Numinous Wellness, I feel like it's an interesting play on the psychedelic sector, more so now physical clinics and intellectual property research and development, which we'll get into in their investor presentation. But first, I want to quickly go over a few things when it comes to the news. And the reason why I like Numinous and I want some exposure to the smaller cap psychedelic stocks, generally we get this trickle-down effect. A lot of the time, but not always, we will see, like, for example, in the gold sector, the gold price starts to rise, and I think this is a pretty decent comparison. We'll see the majors who are already producing gold go up because they can realize their profits right away. Then it trickles down to the mid caps, and then it trickles down into the more speculative, risky exploration stage stocks when that rally really kicks into full effect. Because at the end of the day, the explorers, in this case, companies like Numinous Wellness who are exploring, they're They're developing intellectual property. Although their business model is a little bit different, having the large caps lead the way in this case makes more sense because they're closer to, they're closer to a potential FDA approval, or they're closer to realizing profits, whereas the smaller, more speculative companies tend to be a little bit further out, but they tend to have, the greatest potential because their valuations are so much smaller. For example, Numinous, only 130 million. MindMed, Compass, a tie, all over $1 billion market cap. So for this thing to go from 130 million in a best case scenario to 500 or $1 billion when all the others are running, it's a lot easier for that to happen in the early stages, which is why, higher risk, higher reward. Numinous hasn't put out too much news recently, but we can still go to their investor tab, quickly take a look at that. That's not really what I want to focus on in this video, but their most recent news. Numinous to participate in micro-dose hosted event, Psychedelic Capital at Wonderland Miami, which I believe just happened or is happening right now. Awesome big event for psychedelic companies, psychedelic research, just everything when it comes to the psychedelic sector. I had the pleasure of meeting the founder of Microdose, also the Conscious Fund, which is a psychedelic venture capital fund that we've already partnered with. So I'm looking forward to bringing you guys new and exciting companies on our other channels. But that's pretty much, what that Wonderland Miami event is. Now, Numinous put out news in October, which we can quickly go over. So Numinous advances phase 1 trial on proprietary psilocybin products. So that is something we're going to talk about a little bit later on in this video. They've finalized the study design and protocol for a phase 1 clinical trial on a naturally derived psilocybin extract previously announced April 26, 2021. This major milestone advances Numinous' investigation of its proprietary psychedelic product, which was developed using a patent-pending technology submitted to the U.S. Patent and Trade Office. So let's dive into their investor presentation now. And then we're going to quickly go over their previous quarter, their financials, management's discussion and analysis. But I want to focus on their investor presentation, and I'm only going to touch on the key points. So this is like, we do a lot of overviews, company introductions. I want to get to the goods really quickly. So let's sum up Numinous in terms of their investor presentation and what the company's about. So developing proprietary psychedelic-centered therapeutic products and services through our own laboratory and R&D process to be delivered through a global network of physical locations, digital solutions, and partnerships. So we can quickly go over the key points. Comprehensive model advancing scientific innovation and best-in-class clinical delivery. Secured assets. We will talk about their lab and all of that. Deep proprietary moat. Multiple product and therapeutic protocol advances. Industry firsts in natural psilocybin and MDMA research backed by partnerships with sector leaders. They do work with MAPS, so we will be talking about what MAPS is in short. It's the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, one of the most prominent, associations for psychedelic research. Steady clinic expansion led by medical experts with psychedelic training and regulatory expertise. So they are focusing on physical clinics, physical locations. That is something that has kind of changed in their business model. Sustainable revenue and operations across lab and clinics to advance on global scaling strategy. And finally, team. So we'll talk a little bit about their team. Like I said, we did get to interview their CEO in the past. So we know all about mental health. Their focus here is PTSD. 1 in 11 people have PTSD. 1 in 5 will suffer from substance use disorder. So that's also another focus. We know how bad overdoses are. And then, mental health or substance use disorder. It's huge. So the market is there, but which sectors of the market are they going to target and how are they going to do that? There's been so many companies popping up. At this point, investors want a clear path to what they're trying to achieve. So in Numinous' case, psilocybin, MDMA, and ketamine, those are the 3 substances that they have selected to target. A little bit about regulations. We don't really need to get into that. So they have 2 business divisions. Numinous Health, a network of clinics delivering treatments for addiction, mental illness, neurological disorders, and related conditions. And then Numinous Bioscience, that is their intellectual property division. Health Canada licensed lab developing intellectual property, advancing research and generating revenue through contract research and industry innovation. So I just want to focus on these 2 businesses, or the 2 aspects of their business, should I say. So their bioscience, this is their intellectual property and research division. Global leader in psychedelic R&D and analytics. that is foundational in building the industry by facilitating and supporting internal and external development goals. So what are their assets? Health Canada controlled drugs and substances license. So the substances they target, like I said, ketamine, MDMA, couple other substances. They have a newly expanded 15,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility equipped with next-generation analytical tools. So what are the key activities there? Cultivation, production, and extraction of natural psilocybin and other psychoactive fungi species, development of proprietary processes and products, standardized methods for controlled psychedelics, and pipeline for product development, protocol development, and safety and efficacy studies. I want to talk about their product innovation. So what types of products are they looking to bring to the market? Delivery systems seems to be their focus when it comes to products. So innovative dosage delivery systems for natural psychoactive mushroom extracts. So that is scheduled to, I guess we should have an update soon, end of November. Innovative dosage delivery systems for efficient ketamine delivery systems. That seems to be ending end of March. Innovative dosage delivery systems for efficient mescaline delivery system. End of April, that is 2022. And innovative dosage delivery systems for efficient LSD delivery system. And that seems to be in Q3 to Q4, most likely of next year. So they're focusing on dosage delivery systems, which is pretty interesting. Now, psychedelic science. This is their clinical trial, what's going on, within the company in terms of clinical trials. So they have a phase 1 clinical assessment of natural psilocybin extract derived from patent pending technology. So that is their natural psilocybin extract. It's in phase 1. Anticipated approval winter 2021, implementation January, February of 2022. So that is their pipeline or their timeline. Psilocybin assisted psychotherapy for substance use disorders. They have a phase 2 compassionate access Canadian trial. So the next steps, a range of subsequent milestones will provide steady news flow through 2022 to 2023. So that's quite a while out. And then phase 3, MDMA assisted therapy for PTSD with MAPS. So as I mentioned, MAPS is probably the most predominant association for psychedelic research. MindMed works with MAPS. Phase 3 compassionate access trial. And then the next steps, ethical approval prior to study commencement in fall of 2021. So hopefully we'll get some updates on that. And a range of subsequent milestones will provide steady news flow through 2022 to 2023. So that's in terms of their intellectual property clinical trials. We've got those 3 clinical trials, 4 products in the pipeline with the most recent one. Hopefully we're going to get some news on that soon. That is for their natural psychoactive mushroom extracts delivery system. Then we have Numinous Health. So clinic network providing a wide range of psychedelic and non-psychedelic services for comprehensive holistic mental health treatment. 4 locations, Toronto, Vancouver, 2 in Montreal. Current services, ketamine-assisted psychotherapy for depression, neurologic care, and psychotherapy and counseling. So, of course, as we know right now, ketamine is the only substance that you can administer through a clinic. So they have 4 clinics, and what is their, expansion strategy? So, plans to expand with 8 to 10 additional clinics in 2022. Clinic acquisition focus, targeting clinics that are profitable, growing, and located in major metropolitan areas across Canada and the US. So let's take a look at the company milestones real quick, and we're going to focus on the past year or so. So I just want to touch on a few key milestones. So in September of 2020, they raised $4.6 million. They completed Canada's first psilocybin harvest as a public company in 2020. That's October. December, they announced an MDMA-assisted therapy trial. December 2020. They expanded the lab, and they acquired a Montreal clinic before announcing, or very close to the same time, announcing a $17 million financing. And then finally a $40 million financing in March of 2021. So the most recent 3 milestones, June, filed a patent application for psilocybin rapid production process. They announced a Toronto clinic acquisition, and they received Health Canada approval for the MDMA trial. So that was their most recent milestone. So as of this investor presentation, it says they have a cash position of $63.2 million with a market cap of $175 million. It's down to 130 now, but now let's take a look at their financial statements. This is something that, we really care about because, as we know, a lot of these companies right now are not profitable. In Numinus's case, I'm sure their clinics are generating some form of revenue, so we will take a look at that. But let's take a look at their current financial position. So we will be comparing August 31st, 2020 to May 31st, 2021 to get a look and take a look at the difference in terms of their financial position. So last year, August 31st, 2021, current assets 2.6 million, total assets of 5.1 million, current liabilities of 2 million, total liabilities of 2.3 million. So as we can see there, just over 5 million in assets and 2.3 million in liabilities. Fast forward to May 31st of 2021, 64 million in current assets, 70 million in total assets, and in terms of current liabilities, 1.7 million, non-current liabilities around 1 million, so a total of 3.1 million in total liabilities. So the thing that stands out to me here, guys, is the amount of cash that they were able to raise. This company is cashed up, as we can tell, with 63.2 million in cash. That was in May. That was as of May 31st, 2021. Now that Toronto clinic was acquired in July of 2021. So, I'm sure that has changed a little bit, and we could research the news and see what they're acquiring that for. But yeah, overall, it looks like Numinous is in a solid financial position in terms of the amount of cash they have. Very little liabilities. What I like to see is the fact that the liabilities haven't really changed. They've only gone up by about 800,000. Meanwhile, the cash and assets have increased 14-fold. So that's pretty encouraging. So I just wanted to research this a little bit more. So here is the Numinous Wellness to acquire Neurology Center of Toronto, plans to create Center for Psychedelic Neurology. So they paid 300,000 in cash and 200,000 in shares. So that's $500,000 acquisition. So that won't change their cash position by much, as long as I'm comparing the right to acquisition, which we can line up the dates here, July 6, 2021. So everything looks good there. Yeah, guys, so I want to quickly go over the management's MD&A, which is their management discussion and analysis. So strong cash position. This is their third quarter 2021 highlights of 63.2 million. So that is as of May 31st, 2021. Completed $40 million bought deal financing and exercised 1.6 million in warrants and options. Generated revenues of 562,000 and $1 million for the 3 months and 9 months, respectively, ended May 31st. So, and a little bit more information about their trial. So I quickly want to go over their profit and loss statement. So just to analyze their financials a little bit closer in terms of cash flows and all of that stuff. So guys, we're just going to compare the 3 months ended May 31st, 2020 and 2021. So last year, $1.2 million in expenses, 4.7 million May 31st, which makes sense. The company's a lot larger. So loss and comprehensive loss for the period. This is what I want to focus on. So last May, 3 months, $3.3 million loss. This May, $4.8 million loss. So the loss hasn't really, snowballed. It's not like they lost $3 million last year and they're losing $10 million this year. The company's growing. There's more moving pieces, cost more money. That makes a lot of sense, but they also have a lot more cash in the bank. So if they're losing roughly $5 million per quarter, and I'm sure they're not planning to lose money forever, especially with, clinics coming on board and all that. We can see right here that their revenues have been growing. Last May, 216,000 in revenues, but the cost of revenue was 140,000. This year, they've substantially grown revenues, but the cost of revenue has increased quite substantially. So they're going to want to put in some work when it comes to that. Obviously, they want the cost of revenue to be much lower than the revenue itself, or that's not a sustainable business model. But right now, they're in the development stages. They're building out all their clinical network. They're advancing their trials. So this is going to take time. This is going to take money. But if the company keeps their expenses where they are, even, that's over 3 years worth of cash that they have, which is, you know, $63.2 million. So overall, Numinous is a unique business model. Of course, you know, if you're bullish on those specific compounds, those specific trials, take a look at that. Of course, there's a reason why MindMed and Atai and Compass are worth billions of dollars, because these are going to be, if they pass as a clinical trial, get FDA approval, they're going to be headline, blockbuster, probably billion-dollar treatments that the company will be able to realize revenue if they do end up putting those into production. In Numinous' case, they've got a strong intellectual property pipeline, a great research facility. They're targeting delivery systems and then using that, hopefully incorporating that into their clinical network that they will have. So it's an interesting business model. I have learned a lot just by simply shooting this video. They've shifted quite a bit, but let me know your thoughts, guys. That's it for the video. I'm going to wrap it up here. I know it was a long video. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, if you own Numinous, if you're looking to, cool company. And that's it for the video, guys. So we'll see you guys in our next video. Don't forget to drop me some comments. Let me know which companies you'd like me to analyze. See you guys soon. If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.